Grand Rising, my lovely butterflies. This is the Awakened Butterfly, and I am back with another video. If this is your first time coming across my channel, please stay for the entire video or check out some of my existing content. If you enjoy this type of content, please don't hesitate to subscribe. Welcome and welcome back. I pray that you all are having a blessed and amazing beginning of your day, or whatever time of day that you guys come across this video. I'm sending nothing but positive energy you guys' way. I pray that you all are continuing to take care of yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. I love you guys, and as always, the love and support that you show me on this channel is always appreciated. If you haven't already, please make sure to hit the post notification bell so you will be notified every time I post a video. Guys, I want to discuss something with you that I feel is very dominant in our society, but it's not talked about enough. And that is lust pertaining to sexual desires and how it leads to sexual immorality and infidelity. And in today's video, I will actually be saying some words that I normally don't say. Nothing too much, but I don't just want to keep trying to spell the words or anything like that. But, you know, if it was something that was too derogatory, I wouldn't say it on this channel. But it's nothing too bad, guys. I'm just going to be saying the word lust, and I'm going to be saying the word sex. So just prepare yourself for that, because I normally don't say things like that on this channel, but in accordance to what the Most High is leading me to talk about, I'm going to make an exception for that. In today's video, guys, I will be discussing the true spiritual meaning of lust and how it contributes to today's social dynamics in regards to sexual immorality and infidelity. Now, this video serves as an informative confirmation as well as a warning. Proverbs chapter 5 verse 13 says, "And have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined mine ear to them that instructed me." For whoever this is that's listening to this video, and please go back and pray to the Most High for further confirmation after receiving this message. You have been trying to warn someone of their destructive behavior regarding their romantic desires. This may be a close friend or a family member, or it may even be a partner. They are either being intimate with a married person or participating in illicit sex acts for money. Now, I'm not relaying this message to offend someone. I'm relaying this message in obedience to the Most High. You know, things like this happens all the time, and a lot of the times, especially in today's modern times, people are not just using sex because it's a strong desire for them. They're using it as a way to profit and make money in order to fulfill the desires of someone else. And there are also people who are actually using it in order to fulfill their own desires. And it's leading them to ruin families and relationships. Now, you may know someone or may be close to someone who considers themselves to be a player. This could be a man or a woman. They have strong desires to be romantically linked with various partners. And this has caused them to be a person who finds it hard to commit to one person or to be very unfaithful in their marriages and relationships. According to an InStyle.com research article, 2 of the main reasons people cheat or have a hard time getting in committed relationships is due to a lack of intimacy and emotional connection. And a lot of cases are caused by the spirit of lust, because lust is the strong desire or craving for something, especially for anything that is sexually oriented. Now, don't get me wrong, a person can also have a strong lust for food, money, even a particular smell. But in this video, I will be discussing how people use this strong desire in order to fulfill their own selfish needs. And in the process, it's hurting other people. Also, guys, I just want to make a quick disclaimer. Lust is not a bad thing. Lust is actually used to trigger attraction in, relationships. It's actually used for procreation. You have to have an attraction to someone in order to even come together with them. Let's just be honest. It's all about how you use the things that the Most High has placed inside of us. It's, anything that's out of balance can turn into an obsession. And anything that is overly obsessed always leads to irrational decisions. Now, lust and passion are similar, because I know a lot of the times the two can be placed in situations where they can be mistaken. Lust and passion are almost similar, except passion is a drive to do good, while lust is the desire to overindulge in malevolent acts. Now, there are 3 types of lust. You have lust of the flesh, which is the desire to romantically connect with someone due to a strong physical attraction. You have the flesh of the eyes, and these strong desires can also be experienced when admiring someone that you find attractive. When you look at someone and you begin to think sexual thoughts about them, you've already committed the sin of adultery in your head. You've already committed the sin of adultery. And even though no one's perfect, I'm pretty sure that we all have had desires for someone, and we've all had thoughts of being romantically connected with someone. It's when you actually go out and act on those thoughts is which can sometimes, put you in compromising situations, if not all of the time. If you're in a committed relationship and you're desiring to be with someone else and you go out and act on those thoughts, you've cheated on your partner, and you've either caused some serious problems in your relationship that's going to take a long time to resolve, or you've just lost your relationship altogether. The lust of pride is also a type of lust that is the deep sense of pleasure that you experience as a result of fulfilling your desires. a lot of the times people have guilty pleasures. It's things that they're not too open about because they're not sure how other people will feel about it, or it's things that they feel that they have to hide because, you know, if they reveal it, it could mess things up. And this is usually the thoughts of people that are in relationships or married. And not only do they meet their desires by going out to do these things, but such as cheating on their partners, but they also get an adrenaline rush. They get a thrill out of getting away with it and fulfilling their desires at the same time. So this is where the lust of pride comes from. And guys, I hope I'm making sense, you know, with how I'm explaining it. I'm aiming to explain it, you know, the best of my knowledge. Now also, guys, 1 John chapter 2 verses 16 says, "For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world." Now, although the Most High created everything, it's when things are taken out of context. You know, I'm pertaining to the things that it's natural for us to experience. It's natural for you to be attracted to someone. It's just all about respecting yourself, your morals, your values, respecting your partner if you are in a relationship, and just taking time to think about things before you act, not letting your physical attraction determine your next move. And when we as humans overindulge in worldly desires, being disobedient to God, devouring ourselves, you know, possibly hurting others in the process, all while further opening the doors for unclean spirits. Because energy is real and it does transfer. And we have to really be careful with what we let our desires lead us into. And when it comes to lust and sexual immorality, the sinful nature attached to these desires can lead to one committing adultery, which involves a married person being romantically involved with someone other than their spouse. And every 1 in 4 marriages are affected by infidelity. And according to shadowinvestigations.com, a research study found that 20% of men and 13% of married women confess to being intimate with someone outside of their marriage. Now, there are several marriages that has ended all because someone in the marriage has become sexually attracted to someone else. And when we think about the morals and values that comes with being attached with being married, with being in a committed relationship with someone, when we think about the vows that were made in that marriage before the Most High, you have to ask yourself, is it all worth risking due to you being attracted to someone else? And this is when you know that not only is there a sense of entitlement, but there's also a lack of control that is taking place. And I just feel that it's something that needs to be taken into consideration. You know, when we're thinking about what makes us happy, we have to really sit down and think, like, is making this certain move really going to make me happy? Is cheating on my spouse or my partner really going to make me happy? And it seems that today's society puts worldly desires over real love and commitment, as well as what's best for them. There's a lot of people that actually has an excuse for cheating on their partners. If you feel that you must cheat it's best to just go ahead and leave the relationship. There's no need in being selfish in trying to hold on to this person while secretly fulfilling your desires with this person. And it's a transference of energy. You are now you're not only being unfaithful to your partner, but you're now bringing another energy into your home. And that energy is affecting your partner as well as yourself. So it's like in this situation, no one is feeling like themselves. And depending on if the person that the unfaithful partner is cheating with has a partner, they're probably not feeling like themselves neither, because they're feeling the transference of energy as well. And it's like the person that your partner is cheating with, they're harvesting all of the energy, because they're not only harvesting the cheating partner's energy, but they're harvesting their partner's energy as well. You know, let's be honest. If a person is only with someone because of their physical attraction and fulfilled, sexual desires, when they become bored of the person, what's next? You have to really ask yourself that question. What is next? What is it about this person that you feel you can hold on to every day of your life that doesn't involve you being involved romantically? Does this person have great conversation? Does this person have a great sense of humor? Is this person God-fearing? What does this person actually have going on in their life? Physical attraction is not enough, but in all actuality, that seems to be all is required these days from a lot of people. I was watching a live this morning where it was very interesting, because a man was desiring to have more than one partner in his life. And he was devastated when he found out that one of 3 of his partners was unfaithful to him. And he's not married to neither one of these women, but he wants them to accept that it will never be just one of them, because he requires to have more than one partner. I don't know. This is where the selfishness comes in, guys, with, people's desires. When a person is driven by their own selfish desires, and when I say selfish, meaning they don't care who they hurt in the process of getting what they want. It's pretty much the same as being a narcissist. They don't care who they hurt in the process as long as they get what they want. And when they're driven by these type of desires, all they see is them and what they're getting out of the deal. And they dare their partners to ever be unfaithful to them. I don't know what these type of people expect. Whatever type of energy that you put out, that's what you're going to get back, and eventually. And a lot of people cheat on their partners that has been very good to them, and they will end up being secretly romantically linked to someone else, and they begin to develop deep desires for this person. Now they're involved with two people. Now they're torn between the two. See, these are the type of problems that come as a result with being wrapped up in lustful desires. Now they're torn between two people, and the person that they usually leave their partner for, they usually end up breaking their heart. In a lot of instances this happens, and I'm just wondering, what did that person expect? If this person was willing to come between a marriage or a strong partnership, what makes you think that they wouldn't be a cheater? It makes you wonder, is there an actual emotional connection with these people, or is it all about being physically attracted and connected to that person? Because you just wonder, is it all worth risking a union that you've been in for years, where this person has your back, you can trust this person? Is it all worth risking for someone that you barely know? Overindulging in the spirit of lust can lead to health issues, like genital tract diseases and heart disease. Hypersexuality is connected to being overindulgent in sexual activity, which can also open the doors to various addictions like compulsive spending and eating disorders. And I know a lot of people don't believe this, that being hypersexual can open the door to these things, but everything that that's connected to our desires and things that make us happy, that causes us pleasure, is connected to the dopamine. So when the dopamine is triggered, or when the dopamine is being activated, it can trigger other desires for other things, which can lead to compulsive spending. If a person is hypersexual, it can also be very damaging to relationships. It can cause someone to cheat on their partners, as well as participate in various illicit sexual acts. There are also a lot of unplanned pregnancies that has resulted from these things as well. People have also been caught up in illegally paying for sex as well, which has placed them in some situations. It's embarrassing for them. It's embarrassing for their family. Just picture a married person being arrested for participating in illegal sex acts. And now their partner has to find out about it. Also, when these type of things are overindulged, when you're constantly involved with different partners, you're romantically linked to all these different people, it can cause an abnormal emotional response. For an example, people being addicted to porn. I just didn't want to say that word. I had to have some type of boundary with this, but people being addicted to the P word, this leads to abnormal emotional responses. And this is due to artificial stimulation. The desires are being met through non-intrapersonal relations, which can drive an emotional wedge between a person and their partner, as well as place them out of touch with reality, because they are now desiring a person that they are not actually physically and emotionally connected to. It's all due to an artificial response. They're attracted to what they see. And a lot of people become addicted to this, and it emotionally and physically drives them away from their partner, because they're constantly desiring and seeking something that they probably can never even be attached to, or someone that they can never even be attached to. Now, despite the negative aspects associated with the spirit of lust, it is a natural part of human biology, as I was saying earlier, and it serves as a natural instinct to procreate with someone you are married to or in a committed relationship with. And due to these natural instincts, we as humans can sometimes act out on certain desires and fantasies that we may have as means of experiencing pleasure. So I just, I wanted to say that to say this. We are all human, and we all have a biological setup that allows us to feel certain things. So don't feel guilty about feeling certain things or having certain desires, because it's normal. But if you feel that these desires will place you spiritually out of touch with the Most High, out of touch with yourself, and it will cause problems with you, problems with your, possible relationship, these are things that you have to pray to the Most High about, to give you strength to stay away from. Because every desire that you have is not worth being fulfilled. And sometimes when we do act out on these things, we place our worldly desires over the things that are good for us. We're so busy and caught up in satisfying our flesh that it sometimes can overcome, or I didn't mean to say overcome. Sometimes it can dominate the things that are really important in our lives if we lack self-control. Things like our morals, our values, our beliefs, our mental, physical, and spiritual well-being. These things can allow us to lose a connection with the Most High God. Chasing our worldly desires can really place us in a dark place. It can really detach us from the Most High. Sometimes when you overindulge in things, you lose a sense of balance, a sense of, entitlement, which leads you to have a lack of self-control. And this can lead to addiction in many things. It could lead to a person hurting their family. A lot of times overindulging in worldly things can create a sense of selfishness, which will make you neglect those around you, neglect the feelings of those around you. If a person goes out and they're married or in a committed relationship, and they feel that they have to meet their desires with someone else, and they've now compromised their relationship or their marriage, they not only lost their partner, but they've hurt their partner, but they've hurt their child as well. If they have children, involved, even other family members who's rooting for, this couple to stay together. These things go very deep. And a lot of the times when you want something so bad, you're not thinking about how it can affect other people. These selfish desires, when people are in relationships, are the things that leads them to committing adultery or participating in other illicit sex acts, and they feel no remorse for their actions as long as their needs are being met. There are literally people who are in court and their reason for leaving their partner is because they don't feel that the person is satisfying them sexually anymore. These things are ruining their marriages, their relationships. It's having a long line of betrayed partners and children. It's placing them in a confused and hurtful situation. These type of things draws a person away from God. They're letting their desires get in the way of receiving wisdom. They're ignoring their discernment. A lot of the times I've seen movies and even real life situations where a person will secretly have a relationship with someone else, and they then realize that they shouldn't be doing it. They're beginning to feel a strong conviction. And then they tell that person, hey, I can't do this anymore. I have a family at home. I think it would be best if we didn't see each other anymore. And then that person determines, in their mind that you don't get to make that decision. Because once you made that decision to step out and be with them, you made a decision to make them a part of your life as well. And then that's when the point where they become very revengeful, because now they're hurt. They feel that you've now used them for your own selfish desires. Now you want to return back to your family. And they aim to do things to mess your family up, to mess your relationship up, hoping that you will return back to them. They will even, they will tell your partner. They will send, pics, text messages. I'm pretty sure you guys, have seen this before, where they're like, okay, you're not just going to use me and go back to your happy home like nothing has ever happened. And people don't consider these things, then now they're calling that person crazy, they're rejecting that person. But when they were looking to get their desires met, they were all for the person. They were going through many loops just to get to that person, lying to their partner, sneaking out of the house, coming home late, making up false excuses to their partner just to be with this person. So it's just something to really think about. You have to think about everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly, when, a desire comes into play. Because desires are usually things that we want and not what we need. Proverbs 5 describes the wise information that Solomon informs his children regarding sexual immorality. He warned them of the desire to commit adultery and the desires that result from it. The importance of self-control. This is resisting temptation. When you do this, when you resist temptation, it opens your spirit up to God. It opens you up for the spirit of self-correction. It opens you up to feel conviction when you are stepping outside of your spiritual boundaries with the Most High God. That feeling that you get in your stomach when you know that you're about to do something that you shouldn't be doing. That is conviction. And you can never let your sexual desires overcome that conviction. Because that conviction is a warning. It's letting you know what you're about to get into is not something good. Sometimes overindulging can lead to a strong sense of self-entitlement, which leads to a lack of self-discipline. Because it's like, at that time, you're like, forget what I need. This is what I want. Now, for whoever this message is for whoever is listening to this message, once again, you have been warning someone of their lustful ways. It can be a friend, a family member, a co-worker, even a partner. It can even be an older child. But for whoever this person is that you're trying to warn about their ways, they are very boastful in their ways, and they take pride in having several partners. It could, I know you're probably wondering, well, if this is a relationship, is this person, how dare a person be that bold and admit to what they're doing? You would be surprised of the narcissistic people who are in relationships and they have gotten so comfortable with telling their partner what they're doing because they feel that they have their partner in a place to where they can't and won't do anything about it. Or they will underhandedly lay all the proof out there. And in this case, when I say underhandedly, I'm meaning they don't even know what they're doing. But they've put it out there to the point to where their partner is almost sure that they're stepping out, and they still don't admit it. They're being very manipulative. They're being very nonchalant. They're gaslighting, things of that nature. You have been warning this person. And if this is your partner, you have given them chance after chance for being unfaithful out of your love for them. You really love this person and you want it to work. You've either been with this person for a long time, or you guys are actually married and have been together for a long time. What I'm getting is every time this person does something and you take them back, they'll tell you that they'll never hurt you again, just to turn around and continue to make their own selfish temptations their top priority in the relationship. If this is a friend, you've warned them of their ways, their player mentality. This could be a man or a woman. They're juggling partners. You're seeing where it's leading to. There's already been some problems in the midst of their actions, and you're afraid that it's going to get worse for them. The Most High, is sending you to warn them to stop their ways. As I was saying, you have even witnessed them place themselves in compromising situations, regarding this. And God has sent you to relay several messages, several warnings to this person, all for them to ignore you or to gaslight you. They may even call you a liar or even accuse you of being jealous. And at this time, God is saying that don't warn them any further. They have made their choice. And that when the Most High gave me this message, he gave me Proverbs 5:13, and he said they have made their choice. That is what I heard him say. no matter who this is, and you've witnessed them doing it to someone else, or you're actually going through this yourself, they have been warned. Whatever the outcome is as a result of their actions, the Most High is saying at this time is on them. It's time for you to wash your hands clean of the situation. If this is for someone that's in a relationship and you feel that you can no longer take this infidelity due to this person's sexual immorality, this may be time, for you to pray to the Most High about your next step as to what you need to do pertaining to this situation. If he wants you to leave, if he wants you to stay, what does he want you to do? I feel that, when it comes to your relationship, it's not up to anyone else to give you the answers as to how you should handle your relationship. I feel that going to the Most High and letting him lead you would be the best way to go. Now, there's nothing wrong with talking to, if you want to confide to someone that you trust, if you want to have a talk with them, just to have an ear, just to, your heart's heavy and you want to let some things off, as long as it's someone that you trust. But for the most part, I would advise anyone who is experiencing this, or anyone who has been trying to warn someone that they know that they're close to about, their sexual immorality, to take it to the Most High. If you fear for a friend or a family member and you feel that their ways are going to get them into trouble, it's going to lead them to harm, pray to the Most High. If it's someone you're in a relationship you're married to, or in a relationship with, and you feel that their infidelity is going to either lead you guys to a divorce, or eventually lead your partner into some type of harm, pray to the Most High for protection and to guide you through your next steps. Because the enemy is always lurking around, and the enemy loves separation, which means he's always the center of a breakup or a divorce. Something that the Most High actually brought together, the enemy is always lurking around to find a way to divide it. And if he has to bring in something very enticing, something very distracting to pull you guys apart, that's what he's going to do. That's why union and prayer, as a couple, is very strong as well. And we have to always know that just because something looks good doesn't mean that it's good. And it most certainly doesn't mean that it's worth risking something that the Most High has blessed you with. For whoever is listening to this message, I know that you may be very hurt by what your partner or your spouse is doing to you. And you may be very hurt by what you see your friend or family member doing to someone else. But always know that you did what the Most High wanted you to do. You planted the seed, and that's all you can do. The Most High will do the rest. For whoever this message is for, if you've come across this message, it's not a coincidence. However, I would love for you guys to go back and pray to the Most High for further confirmation, just to make sure this message is indeed for you. I love you guys so much. I pray that you guys continue to take care of yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Always know that there's a lot of worldly temptations out here, and always think before you react and before you act, because there's a lot of tricks and traps by the enemy that is sent our way all the time. A lot of arrows are being thrown at us on a daily basis. So continue to pray to the Most High. Continue to take care of yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. I love you guys so much. And until the next video, peace and blessings. Mwah.